Good morning. Welcome to our lecture series on HRT 304, permanent tree crops production, study session 4. We'll be discussing coffee as one of the cash crops this morning. In this study session, we shall discuss coffee as a tree crop grown in plantations in the tropics. First, we will trace the history, we will trace the spread and the botany of the crop. Then, we shall discuss the agroclimatic and edaphic requirements for the growth and production of the crop. When you have gone through this video and studied this session, you will discuss the history of coffee and identify the species, the botany of coffee, describe the agroclimatic requirement for the cultivation and production of coffee, and also describe the nursery and field management operations necessary to cultivate coffee. The botany of coffee now. Coffee belongs to the family of Rubicae family and the genus Coffea. There are two main species of the coffee plant. We have the coffee arabica and the coffee canephora. The coffee arabica is more susceptible to disease and considered most to taste better than the second species. The coffee canephora, or in bracket robusta, which is probably originated in Uganda, contains about 40 to 50 more caffeine and does not thrive in every environment. Coffee varieties now. There are three basic broad varieties of coffee or classes. We have the Robusta, the Arabica, and the Liberica. The Liberica is in most cases not in existence except to few countries like Liberia and South Sudan. Are used in the mass commercial operations because they have a higher yield than the Arabica families. The beast of Robusta and Liberica are considered to be flavored more harshly. That is, they are less flavored to that of Arabica. The climatic and soil requirements for the production of coffee. Coffee arabica now requires a relatively frost-free environment similar to that of papaya. Coffee likes moist condition and does not tolerate hot, dry winds. Climatic factors, particularly temperature and rainfall, are important in encouraging optimum growth. Temperature is a key factor in coffee production and the strongest influence on temperature and latitude and elevation. Coffee is grown around the world at latitudes from 20 degrees north to 25 degrees south, and an elevation ranging from the sea level to as high as 2,133 meters, which is 700,000 feet. In general, high elevation coffee regions are found in countries at or near the equator, such as Kenya, the New Guinea Islands, and Colombia, while low elevation coffee regions such as Hawaii and Sao Paulo in Brazil are usually at subtropical latitudes. Shading with one or more or two layers of the tree is practiced in some tropical coffee growing areas such as South Nigeria because shade management is very windbreak. Rainfall. Some coffee producing areas have annual rainfall of about 760 millimeters, which is 30 inches. These are 2,540 inches of rainfall also have good production. Optimum annual rainfall for coffee is considered to be about 1,524 millimeters to 2,159 millimeters. However, the most important factor is the rainfall distribution pattern as it relates to various phases in the coffee growth cycle. The coffee growth cycle includes the vegetative growth, the flowering, the maturing of the coffee cherries, the ripening, and the harvesting. Soil requirements for coffee production. Coffee is grown in a wide variety of soil types are based on the physical properties and the soil itself. Physical properties of the soil now. Coffee needs a deep, porous, well-drained soil, especially those of volcanic origin. This helps in producing an optimum growth for the coffee required. Soil also. Coffee grows on a deep, porous, well-drained soil. Soil with excessive leach topsoil, impervious subsoil layers, or solid rock close to the surface will not support healthy coffee trees. Coffee will not do well and die on heavy soil if drainage is a problem or if the soil is kept constantly waterlogged below the surface. Coffee will succeed on many types of soil but will develop a better root system in a well-drained soil. A soil with a pH of about 4.2 to 6 is preferred. Above 7 will cause chlorosis, and this would affect the yield of the coffee. Spacing. Trees are normally planted on about 1 to 2.5 millimeters centers. Tighter centers are used where intensive pruning is employed. Three species of coffee tree exist, and as we have discussed earlier, we know it is Robusta, the Arabica, and the Liberica. I believe you have learned a little about the coffee botany, the coffee climatic requirements, the coffee soil requirements, and also the coffee processing. Now we'll be going into processing of coffee beans into coffee drinks. Much processing and human labor is required before coffee berries and their seeds can be processed into the roasted coffee, which most Western consumers are familiar with. Coffee berries must be picked, must be defruited, must be dried, must be sorted, and factory processed. All coffee is roasted before consumed. In groceries, coffee is usually sold in the roasted state. The flavor is very, very important, and one of these aromatic oils present in coffee is caffeol, which is largely responsible for coffee aroma and flavor. I believe you have learned a few things, as I've said earlier. Thank you for listening. See you in the next slide where we discuss another cash crop. Thank you.